Morning, folks, and a lovely morning out here on the farm, back on the range. Got a new video for you today, and I filmed this video and planned this project several weeks back. And I guess you might say my motivation for this project was driven and fueled by some really funny comments. And I won't mention any channel names, but rest assured 99.5% of them have zero content, zero playlists. It's just a little colored circle with a letter in it, because the only reason that they even bothered to create a YouTube account was so that they could leave comments about, in my opinion, the omniscient mind power that they possess to view a minute and a half worth of video and then give you absolute factoids about the entire 1.5 hour video series, absorbed completely just by osmosis, straight through the screen of their computer or their phone. Now I'm talking about some comments that were left on the Ruger SFAR series that I did, or some people might call it the Ruger SFAR. I'm sure there's at least half a dozen different ways you can say it. Semantics aside, I just call it the SFAR. But the gist of a lot of the comments, and this is kind of funny when you think about it, the gist of a lot of the comments are, you know, AR platform rifles new from the factory are really super stiff when they're new. I'm hoping that any rifle I buy from the factory is going to be fairly stiff for most of its life. And the other side of that, the other added nugget of wisdom is any rifle like that needs to be fired at least 200 times. I'm getting this magic number, 200. Takes a couple hundred rounds. You should fire a rifle at least a minimum of 200 rounds. 200, 200, 200. Now, I never heard this exact number, 200 round break-in period, until the Ruger SFAR platform came out. And in their book, and they don't state it as an unequivocal fact that you have to fire this rifle 200 times to break it in on setting 3. That is not what the book says. And in one of the videos, I posted a screenshot of that page, and it don't say that. It says to a degree that you need to start out tinkering, more or less paraphrasing, checking different adjustments, you know, and maybe start firing on the 3rd setting and see what ammo it likes. And then when you find a good sweet spot, then stick with it, more or less. But it does not state unequivocally you have to fire 200 rounds on setting 3 before you try to do anything else. And the gist of a lot of the comments are the fact that all new guns require a break-in. They're all super stiff. They're all brand new. You got to break them in. Well, I proved with the 300 Blackout Mutt gun video I did last year, maybe it was earlier this year, I don't know, I slept since then, that no, you can put a gun together, brand new, never fired a shot, take it out to the range and shoot that bastard like you've been shooting it for years. And people are just, no, you can't do that. You've done something, you're up to hijinks, you're up to no good. And a couple of times people have out and out accused myself and other people who aren't part of the large viewership of YouTube of being up to no good and actually falsifying data and filming with movie magic. Well, you can look at my vids and everybody else's. You don't have a lot of cutscenes. If I say I'm going to fire 20 rounds to see if a weapon's going to jam in 20 rounds, you can bet your ass there won't be a cutscene between round 1 and round 20. And several other folks. So I decided, and you know, I'm not pissed about it, it just it makes me laugh. It never ceases to amaze me the type of YouTube, internet, wiki wisdom that gets passed around, propagated, and then furthered down the line to people. And folks just suck it up like the best cereal they ever had with the sweetest milk ever come from a cow tit. It's beyond me. And I see it all the time. Well, I thought, well, we got to do something here. Let's try something, okay? Now, I proved once with that AR-15 300 blackout mutt gun that you can take parts from a dozen different manufacturers, sling them all together, go out to the range, and if you've done it correctly, just like the factory should do it, then by God, there shouldn't be an issue with that weapon. And yes, I used the word weapon. I also take umbrage at the fact that people want to leave a comment telling me that I wish people wouldn't use the word weapon. It's just a tool. Well, yes, a weapon. It's a tool. It's a gun. It's a firearm. It's many things. It's a rifle. Yes, it's a tool. But you can't tell people how to refer to their own personal private property. Anyway, before I get on that rant, so I decided, what the hell? I'm out in the country for a few weeks. I had some other projects that fell through, so why don't I just do something different? I thought, well, Self, what are you going to do different? And I thought, well, why don't I just build a super stiff, brand new 308 AR-10? And let's check out the prevailing internet wisdom and see if that's all true. So I went down to my local store down there at R&M Arms in Minko, Oklahoma, Ronnie and Mindy Porter, and let me tell you what, they had everything I needed with the exception of a couple things I wanted that they don't carry in stock. And I dropped a load of money for this project, and it's all my money. But I really felt compelled to do this. And what I've got here today is a complete AR-10 LR in 308 that is 96-97% all Aero Precision parts. Now on the 300 blackout, I just made a mutt gun out of it. Heinz 57. I mean, I clobbered shit all together. But I figured on this one, we'll go the reverse of that. Every part inside that weapon is Aero Precision. It's an Aero Precision bolt, it's an Aero Precision lower receiver kit, it's an Aero Precision upper, it's an Aero Precision upper parts kit, it's an Aero Precision handguard, it's an Aero Precision mount. What else? The only pieces that are not Aero Precision are those two pieces of the furniture, that piece of furniture, and the weapon does utilize a Rise Armament flat 140 drop-in trigger because I like those triggers. If I'm going to have a single stage trigger, that's the kind I'm going to use. Now, speaking of that trigger, sometimes people in the comments and the review section at Rise Armament will leave a comment about the fact that this trigger, even though it says it is suitable for use on 308 platforms, that theirs did not work properly. Now, one guy left a comment saying that, and he said it would not ignite Tula steel-cased 308. Okay, if you're going to shoot steel-cased ammo out of an AR platform that's capable of doing it, yeah, you're going to need a stronger spring. Because that Russian ammunition, those primers are super hard, okay? Just, you need to know that beforehand. Other than that, the only other thing on here, it's even got the .875 size journal adjustable Aero Precision gas block, and that's a 15 position switch. And so I plan to use this weapon suppressed and unsuppressed. So I wanted that. Now, the barrel itself came with a regular style single mode gas block. What's nice about it is that barrel is cut for, and the gas block is designed to be pinned as well as set screw. So I kind of wish the Aero Precision was, but I got her on there good and tight. But it's nice that that Ballistic Advantage Hansen Aero Precision barrel comes like that. If you're not going to use suppressed, it's nice to be able to know that your gas block is pinned on a 308. Hell, on any gun. And the only other piece They say, Brad, my God, what is that stainless steel monstrosity out there on the end of that rifle? Well, I'm a long way from home. I wasn't going to spend money on a new flash hider or brake, seeing as how I've got half a dozen of the damn things at home. So I went ahead, pulled that out of my long-range precision bag, stuck it on the end, just so I'd have a muzzle device on the end that might help mitigate a little recoil if it's needed. The buffer spring and tube are Anderson, by the way, but for the most part, all the parts that really matter, I've gone with Aero Precision. So let's take a close-up look at all this stuff, because I want to demonstrate as best I can to everybody on camera right now that this is not a pre-fired weapon. This weapon has never had a cartridge loaded in it. The only thing that's ever been in that chamber was a go-no-go gauge. It's never fired a shot, and the fact that the surfaces of the internal pieces show absolutely zero wear will stand as evidence for that. So stand by, let's change the camera angle and let's get some close-up action on these guts of this weapon. And yes, I use the word weapon, and I will continue to. Stand by. All right, got the camera angle changed. Now, as you can observe, one of the things it'll tell you, never been fired. Look at the face of this bolt. Absolutely pristine. It's never had a cartridge in it. Look at this shelf. No wear mark on the top at all. The buffer, the face of it, 0 rings. This has never been fired. It's never had a bullet in it. One of the other things you can see, got the camera for you here. Got some glare, but that's pristine. Look at the face of the bolt. Never had a round in the face of that bolt. It's absolutely clean. The side rails. Nowhere. This puppy is brand new. That gas tube, pristine. And if you could see, and you can't, but if you could see the inside of it, you would see that it's just as shiny on the inside as it is the outside. I don't know if this is going to focus on the barrel extension. I can't see that it will. I might have to set that up. But you get the gist of it, boys and girls. This is a brand new weapon that's never fired so much as a single round. Well, let's put her together and stand by, because the first thing we're going to do is adjust the gas system and adjust the optics on it and get everything kind of close to sighted in for 0 and get that gas block set for non-suppressed use. Stand by. All right, this will give you a better view into the back side of that barrel extension. As you can see, nothing. Pristine. This is what we're working with, folks. A brand new weapon that's never had a bullet in it. Not even test fired at the factory. We're getting ready to test fire now. Stand by. Alrighty, folks. I've got the camera panned back somewhat, and the reason being is, like I said, we're not only adjusting the scope for 0, more or less, but we're also adjusting the gas system. We can do both these things at the same time. So we're going to fire the first couple rounds in succession if it feeds right, if it does right, if it's not so super stiff that it won't work right. God. And we're also going to observe how the brass ejects, which angle it ejects at. We're going to set that timing and hopefully get her dialed in pretty quick. The ammunition we're shooting is Winchester M80 ball 7.62 by 5.1, 149 grain FMJ. Okay, time for her maiden voyage, baby. I hope you do good. She should. I mean, hell, I built it. Stand by. That looked like it went straight at it. 3 o'clock, that's what I like to see. Three o'clock, a little soft on its ejection, but I'm basically dead center for left and right. Just need to bring the elevation down some, and that's okay. I want to do that. Another one at 3 o'clock. Ain't nothing wrong with this. In case you're wondering, on that adjustable gas block from Aero Precision, with this ammunition, I'm on setting 11. Let's give her one more just for shits and giggles. What do you say? A perfect little square going on there. Not bad. Go ahead and run the rest of them. What do you say? Locked back on an empty magazine. Man, she must not be as super fucking stiff as factory guns are, huh? Stand by, let's check something out. Alright, we're gonna do a little pan and scan here. Sure I can see it or not. Loosen this up. Now, the first 3 or 4 rounds fired came straight out, basically 305, which is excellent. Now, as I fired the remaining rounds, the last 5 or 6 rounds, they started to increase their angle to the rear. Like, maybe it was a little undergassed or something. So, as we're firing this initial rounds, it's starting to show that things may be heating up a little bit, maybe letting a little blow-by come back, maybe things are starting to unstiffen. So, we're going to go ahead, give it another click, open that gas port up just a little bit, and see if that makes a difference. As you can see, we have that slight change. So let's go ahead and throw 10 more in there. What do you say? And see what kind of results we get from this. Stand by. All right, made a couple of adjustments. I gave us one more opening click, increasing gas pressure. See if that brings us back to center on ejection of the cases. I was dead on for left and right with the optic, just a couple inches high of the bullseye. Gave it about 8 clicks. I'm at 50 yards. And I've got a paster down there, little bullseye, and it has a line, hard black line, drawn beneath the center of the paster at 0.8 of an inch, which is where, by ballistic calculator, this ammo should be impacting at 50 yards, which should give me a 100-yard zero. So we've got those adjustments in. We got 10 more rounds in. Let's see how she does. Lock back on an empty mag. Can't beat that. And she has some that are at 3 o'clock, some that are at 3:45, and some bounced over there. I observed that happening. Let's go ahead and give it one more click. What do you say? Stand by. All right, boys and girls. Well, that's 20 rounds without a hitch. We've made another adjustment to the gas system. One more click. We're on 13 now. And that's no surprise to me. This barrel's gas port is smaller, and I mean much smaller than the gas port on the Ruger SFAR and even on barrels on the PSAs. But I'm thinking this will probably make a difference. Now, we have gradually come up. We had half and half cases at 315, and 345. We had one case that was about 245, 230. Now, seeing as how this weapon is still super stiff, let's go ahead and see if that one more click makes a difference. And I got a feeling it will, because as we fire the weapon and as the mating surfaces of the parts inside the gas system start to kind of seal up, get a little fouling on them, increase the pressure, that's probably going to show itself as well. Right now we've got a 20 round mag in, and we're not going to just dump it, but I'm going to bang a little steel while we do this test. I went down and checked the target. Looks good. Got a nice group down there, 6 rounds, right on the black line. That's where it ought to be. So without further ado, let's get rounds 21 through 40 through this super stiff brand new gun. What do you say? Stand by. And like I said, we'll bring a little steel on this one. People want to send me text. But you know I'm shooting a damn video. Also, you'll see the cardboard. I was ripping my bag up. It's an old bag, flimsy, cheap stuff. But I didn't want to tear the top off it just yet. It has one more season left in it. Let's see how she does. There you go. Bullet you. Let's go to town. What do you say? Beating the hell out of that steel. Ripping the hell out of that cardboard. All right. Yay, yay! Yeah. Well, that's 40 rounds. I'm still getting some half and half on the ejection. That's alright. Looks like it's going to do that just about anywhere. I could feel just a little more recoil. So I think I'm going to back it down. Yeah, take it back down to 12 or 11. See how the recoil feels. And if she'll still lock back on an empty mag, feed right, not short stroke, I won't have a problem with it at all. Stand by. Alright, now that I'm pretty sure I know which gas setting it likes for regular open-ended fire, now we're going to try a little suppressed action. and I've dropped it down to setting number 7. I've got 5 rounds in. We'll do a quick test, see if it functions good, see where the brass lands, and see if she locks back on an empty bolt, on an empty mag. Stand by, boys and girls. Listen for the sound of the bang. Yay, yay. Now, it spit every one of those out at 2 o'clock. 2:15. Which means I could drop another setting and see if that makes a difference. Stand by. Felt real good on the recoil. Full lock back on an empty mag. Let's see what happens with one more click down. Oh, and yeah, it's still super stiff. More than likely. Okay, we've taken that gas adjustment valve down one more click. We're at setting 6 now. Got 5 more rounds in. Listen for the sound of the whang. I think I'm gonna like this little puppy. She does a pretty damn good job, don't you know? Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. Woo-hoo-hoo. I'm a-liking it. I'm a-liking it. Full lock back. Recoil was very mild. Everything landed straight in front of the camera tripod. Number 6, baby. Number 6. Stand by. Okay. Well, that's, what, 50 rounds out of it? Brand ass spanking new. Never had a bullet through it, not even factory test fire, because I built it myself, so factory test firing is occurring now, I guess. Not a hitch. Not one failure to feed, and knock on wood, we won't have one on these 10 rounds. We've got 10 rounds left. We're going to go ahead and run them through there on the suppressed end. Keep her on setting 6, see what kind of results we get. But I'm thinking she's gonna be pretty good. Pretty good. So I guess, as the evidence shows, and in reply to those people who just love to drop comments and impress the rest of the world with their enigmatic brain power and their omniscient prescience to be able to state things as they were fact about situations they weren't within 1,000 miles of when they occurred, maybe you ought to just get back on the gaming channels and stuff like that and talk about things you know. Go upstairs, get you some pizza rolls, half-gallon of Kool-Aid, and get your non-launched ass back down in your grandma's basement. Fire up the Xbox and forget about talking to the adults that know what's going on in the firearms industry. What do you say? Because you're just ignorant assholes. That's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. In other words, all you grumpy fuckers can kiss my ass. Alright. Y'all have a great day. Thanks for stopping by. Hope you enjoyed it. I goddamn sure did. Hopefully see you folks soon. Somewhere. Downrange. Bye.